Hey Capricorn, how are you? I hope you're doing well. I'm so excited to be here today with you. I'm very grateful. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're returning, welcome back. I'm so happy to have you back today again. So today we're going to be going over what you should be expecting for the week of July 1st. There's a lot of stuff going on this week. Astrologically, there's a lot going on this week. But we'll get through it. I know we do. I know we will. We always do. So I'm excited. But yeah, so we're going to be going over that. This is going to apply to Capricorn Sun, Moon, and Rising, Tropical, Sidereal, and Progress. So check all of those on astro.com. If you don't know your placements, everything will be there, okay? Let's see. If this resonates with you, please let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear your feedback and your thoughts and everything. I love to communicate with you guys and be in contact. So keep that in mind, okay? And let's see. Oh yeah, like the video, comment, like I said, share, subscribe. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so at simplepluto.com. You can also find me on social media at simplepluto on Twitter and Instagram. Okay? All right. So Capricorn, what is in store for you the week of July 1st? What's in store for Capricorn the week of July 1st? Ooh, got a card. Alright. I'm using the Mermaid Tarot, by the way, and I really fucking love the deck, so... Ten of Swords reversed. Alright. Ten of Cups reversed. The King of Wands. Okay, lots of fire energy. The Knight of Wands. Three of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck is the Nine of Wands, and under that, the Three of Swords reversed. Okay. So it does seem like this is a time of collaboration. It could be between you and a paternal figure or like just an older person in general. Someone who is like a mentor towards you. Could be a fire sign. But I do see something going on between someone younger and someone older. Possibly masculine energies. Doesn't necessarily have to be. But they seem like fiery masculine people. It doesn't have to be men. It's not gender specific, so take it as it resonates. So we do see like this mentorship going on and having to collaborate, learning from one another and, you know, teaching each other new skills. This to me is like teaching each other new skills because even though the King of Wands is very wise, you know, he's the king, you know, like the ruler of, you know, the Wand clan, he still has a lot to learn. There's always room to learn more, right? And I feel like for some of you, there is a need for collaboration because we do have this Ten of Cups reverse, which talks about an unhappy home. This talks about a lack of emotional fulfillment, and this can even talk about, you know, how on the surface everything seems very happy and emotionally fulfilled, but on the inside, you know, behind the scenes, it's really not that way. And then we have the Ten of Swords reverse, which usually signifies someone resisting an ending, someone resisting, you know, like just something kind of just dying off. With the Ten of Swords reverse, it's like, you know, it could either be like, the way that I kind of see it is like the spirit doesn't want to leave the body. You know, the spirit is trying to cling on to the physical body for dear life. Or it could also just be that someone else is clinging on to the physical body even though the spirit has kind of like lifted. And, you know, I'm not saying that anyone is going to die, you know, God forbid. But figuratively and metaphorically, that's kind of the way that I imagine it. And so there's a resistance to letting something kind of just like die off, to let something kind of just be at rest. And so I do, and it also kind of feels like with this Three of Pentacles, you know, with the need of collaboration between this younger and older person, possibly fire signs, I feel that there is a sense of defensiveness with the Nine of Wands, and like you're trying to avoid being heartbroken. You're trying to avoid like really accepting what's going on with the Ten of Swords reversed. But I feel like you kind of have to. For some of you, I feel like you might be moving out. For some of you, I feel like you might be moving out or something. I'm going to keep these cards behind. I feel like some of you could be moving out, and there's kind of a, like, there's a resistance to that. I mean, there's a resistance to something ending. What is this resistance? Can you clarify this Ten of Swords reverse, please? Can you clarify this Ten of Swords reverse, please? Why are they feeling this way? Why is the Ten of Swords here? We have the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so this is something that was really meant to happen. Like, you really have to let fate do its thing. But what is this, though? What is this? Judgment. But what is it? Like, what is this? Why are they feeling this way? We have the Ace of Wands reversed. This could be in relation to some sort of opportunity. Maybe for some of you, this could be like career related with the Ace of Wands reversed. Or this could be something like with sexuality or like passion, something that you're really passionate about, something that could be career driven even. For some of you, this could be sex. Not gonna lie, this could be sex because this is the Dick card. So maybe it's like sex related. But there's definitely something that you don't want to let go of, but you have to. Like, this is a time for atonement with the Judgment card here. Here's Judgment. The Wheel of Fortune. Like, fate is really taking control of something, but you're definitely resistant to it. It could be in relation to the family, like I said, or in relation to the home, in relation to an unhappy home, in relation to some sort of like emotion, like whatever this like lack of fulfillment is that's going on here. And like I said, there is that defensiveness with the Nine of Wands. And it's like you're really trying to resist that moment of heartbreak. You're really trying to resist that ending. But I feel like you have to go through with it either way so that you can allow yourself to heal with the Three of Swords reversed. So I feel like I said, there's a need for collaboration. There's a need for working together. I don't know. Like, this seems... That's the main thing that I see for you, is that there's the collaboration going on, and you're trying to work together, but maybe it's even the fact that you're resistant to working together. You're resistant to like letting aside your pride or letting aside any sort of bias that you have or like any sort of mindset, because of, you know, just not being happy with one another, not having any sort of like emotional connection or emotional fulfillment. But it's like there's a need to like let go of your prides and just like learn from each other and to just collaborate and work together. To set aside your differences. With the Three of Pentacles, this to me is like setting aside your differences so that you can work together. And like, this to me is like group therapy. This to me is a group therapy sort of thing where like some of you might actually need group therapy because of like the broken home thing going on here. But there's a resistance to that. But I feel like you need to set aside your pride. And I feel like once you kind of let down your guard with the Nine of Wands, once you let down your guard, because you're clearly exhausted with the Nine of Wands. You're clearly exhausted. You're clearly tired. You know, you're going through a lot. You know, you're war-torn in a sense. But, you know, you still want to fight. You still want to put up a fight. But I feel like as long as you put up a fight, you won't be able to heal. And I feel like you have to, like, let down your guard. You really do have to let down your guard and just be open to work together and to, you know, get through this together and, like, remember that you don't have to go through all of this alone. You don't have to go through this Ten of Swords energy alone. You don't have to go through that on your own. You know what I mean? And so in order to heal with a Three of Swords reverse, it's like you really have to let down your guard and let people in. Some of you might really need to let people in. And, you know, learn from your past mistakes. And have, like, a sense of a reincarnation or, like, a rejuvenation with the Judgment card here. What else do I have for Capricorn? What else do I have for Capricorn this week? King of Cups. So this to me is you, Capricorn. Someone who is generally closed off. Not necessarily closed off, but they're intuitive and they're emotional, but they're not necessarily the most emotional type. Does that make sense? You have a lot of emotions, but you don't show them. That's what I mean. So I feel that you do come through as a King of Cups, and maybe you feel limited in your possibilities with the Two of Wands reversed. You feel limited in your possibilities, or you feel like your hands are tied. Again, it's because you feel like that lack of control with everything that is going on, with all of the endings going on, and with the Judgment moment and the Wheel of Fortune, because the Wheel of Fortune is like, the universe is taking everything in control, is taking everything in their hands. And the universe is, steering the wheel, right? Steering that wheel on that ship. And maybe that makes you feel that your hands are tied and that you can't do anything. And maybe, you're mourning a little bit and, you're feeling sorrowful. And maybe you feel as though you're missing out on opportunities here, or there's a delay in that. And I feel like there's a delay because it's not ready for you yet. Does that make sense? You still have to keep on working. You have to let down your guard. You have to let the things end, right? You have to let this end because it's reversed. You have to let that end and, fix the unhappy home, fix the broken home, so that your hands are no longer tied. And I feel like you have to go through this tower moment. You have to go through your tower moment so that you can be free of whatever is holding you back, so that you can be free from the limitations. Because we have the Devil here. This is your card. So this is like, you have to free yourself from your own self, essentially. You have to free yourself from yourself. You have to stop caging yourself in and thinking that you have to go through everything alone, and like being so focused on like your own despair and, just isolating yourself essentially, and just being stuck in a certain mindset. So, just like, you have to learn how to get over that and stop limiting yourself, and just be open to collaboration and open to just letting things honestly die off. So that you can go through that tower moment, and so that you can, go through that transformation, and, let things from the past be in the past and stay there. And then you'll have your Ace of Wands moment where possibilities are opening for you again. Does that make sense to you? I hope it does. So, let's see. Alright, I'm going to pull a message for you from my Spirit Animal Oracle, and then we'll be done, Capricorn, okay? So what messages does Capricorn need to hear at this time? Alright, what messages does Capricorn need to hear right now? What messages does Capricorn need to be hearing at this time? Okay. Bottom of the deck, trust in divine detours. Trust in divine detours. Alright, we have Turtle Spirit, slow and steady wins the race. And then Crow Spirit, Crow Spirit, co-create with Spirit. Okay? So to me, the Turtle Spirit, I mean, obviously, slow and steady wins the race. Everything doesn't have to fall apart at once. You can do it at a pace, but you have to be doing it, right? You have to start letting things go one way or another. And for you, if it has to be little by little, that's fine. But as long as you're persistent, and as long as you are determined to get to the other side, as long as you are determined to, travel through the ocean and make, go through this journey and, go through all of that, you're good. And then co-create with Spirit to me is like, just trust in everything that, Spirit is going through. And again, this is like collaborating with Spirit. You don't have to work on your own. You don't have to be alone all of the time. You don't have to be working independently. This reminds me a lot of like The Incredibles. Mr. Incredible is always like, I work alone. You don't have to do that. You don't have to, save everyone else and, do all of this stuff and just tire yourself out essentially just because you don't feel comfortable like not being in control. Sorry, I'm like taking off my shoes. I'm taking off my sandals and they're like tied up or whatever. So that's what's going on. Like, you really have to just like free yourself with this and, work with Spirit, work with your spirit guides, work with your angels, with your ancestors, whoever, whatever entities that you have, use them to your advantage and work with them and trust that even when things get sidetracked, even when things don't go exactly to plan, that it will be fine. And the universe has something greater for you, okay? So take those detours as a blessing, okay? Growth isn't a linear thing. It's always up and down and all of that. So just keep that in mind, okay? All right, Capricorn. So I will talk to you soon then, all right? Good luck, and I love you.